Harsh here, back with yet another video at Robotech. And so in today's video we'll be discussing about the Raspberry Pi 4B, the board and some projects that we will be making with this board. So without wasting time, let us start. So here the board will appear as you can see. I was not able to very well take the board in my hand and explain it. So I have just created this PPT which will go along throughout the video. So let us start. So as you can see, we'll start from the left side and then go up to the top. So like complete anti-clockwise circle. So let us start. So the first thing coming up here are the 40 GPIO pins. Now what does GPIO mean? GPIO means general purpose input and output pins. So what are these used for? They are used for connecting different sensors to the Pi. Also output devices can also be connected through them. So ahead we have got the this module is the Bluetooth 5.0 module, which allows Bluetooth connectivity to the Pi 4. So you will be surprised to know that we have got a 5.0 version of Bluetooth in this. So that's very good, I guess. And then coming up, we have got a display output right there. So here we can connect different displays like the Raspberry Pi touchscreen display, which comes in different versions like the 7-inch version, the 3.5-inch version. So what that can do is that when we take a power bank and give power to the Pi, so we can just roam about having created our own Pi tablet. And next will be the USB-C power supply. So the best thing in this Pi is that they have replaced the older USB-A type with a newer USB-C power supply thing. So now the Pi 4 takes in more power, and this has enabled this truly gigabit Ethernet. So the earlier versions of Pi did not have a truly gigabit Ethernet because it lacked power supply. So after converting the USB-A type to USB-C type, the Raspberry Pi 4 draws in more power, and thus we have got a true gigabit Ethernet, which allows up to 1 Gbps of internet speed through Ethernet. Then next we have got 2 micro HDMI. Remember, it's micro, not mini. The older single standard HDMI has been replaced by 2 micro HDMI slots. Now thus we can have 2 different displays at the same time with the Pi. So the 2 displays together can have a resolution of up to 4K 30 FPS, and a single display can have 4K 30 FPS. The next thing is the camera input slot. So here you can input the camera, as you all know, the Pi camera for the camera input to the Pi. So you get the version 2 and version 1 of the Pi camera online. So anywhere, for y'all I will leave the link in the description. Then we have got the audio output, the 3.5mm audio jack. So remember, it's only audio output, so you can't connect your headphone and think that your mic is also going in through the 3.5mm jack. The Pi 4 only and only supports audio output through the 3.5mm jack. So if you want audio input, then we'll have to use a USB mic, which will either go in with the two USB 3.0 ports. So yes, the older 2 USB 2.0 ports have been replaced by 2 USB 3.2, and the older 2 USB 2.0 remain constant here, right here. Then as I told you all about the truly gigabit Ethernet, it's still there. And then here we have got the PoE, known as Power over Ethernet. So after connecting a Power over Ethernet hat, which you can buy online, you can directly supply power to the Pi through the Ethernet instead of using the USB-C type power cable. And then you have got the RAM directly sitting in the middle. So since this is the Raspberry Pi 4 Model B version, so we have got 3 different versions: the 2GB variant, the 4GB variant, and the 8GB variant. Earlier it was 1GB, 2GB, and 4GB. So as you can see, it is the RAM is right sitting here: RAM 2GB, 4GB, and 8GB. Next coming up is the main, the SoC, that's system on a chip. So this is the main thing of the Pi, also known as the brain, as we all know in common language, and it's the Broadcom BCM2711, as you can see right there. So it has got a stock arm of 1500 Hz and a GPU arm of 600 Hz. So that's there sitting right in the middle. This is also the hottest part of the Pi. So remember, the temperature rises like to 75 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Celsius without a heatsink or a fan. So that's that, I guess. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. No, I haven't. So now coming up will be some projects with the Pi 4. So here, as you can see, is a list of different projects that we will be making with the Pi 4. So the first project, as you can see, is headlessly booting into the Pi 4. So now you all must be thinking this Harsh just wants to increase the number of videos he has on his YouTube channel, so he's making one video repeatedly. So it's not that, it's just that I had made the earlier video for the non-Wi-Fi users. So in this case we will be making a video for the Wi-Fi users. So on the first very boot it will directly connect to a specific Wi-Fi which you specify, and then automatically also we will allow the SSH thing, so we can SSH into it through the putty or use the VNC viewer. So that's that. The second video will be overclocking the Pi. So as I told you all before, the SoC, the system on the chip, that's Broadcom BCM2711, has a stock arm of 1500 Hz, which can be increased up to 2147 Hz. So by doing this, what we can do is that change the speed of the Pi to a speed, the clock speed of a Pi to the normal speed of a computers that we use at our home, like the laptops, etc. So that's important. So we'll be doing that in this video. Also, the GPU arm which I told was of 600 Hz can be increased up to 750 Hz. So we'll be doing that in this video. So sorry friends. Sorry, now I came now. Let me explain here. Come on, let me explain. So we were at the third point, I guess, from what I saw there. It was keeping the Pi cool. So in this video, what we'll be doing that after overclocking the Pi, the temperatures of the Pi rise heavily, like up to 75 degrees Celsius, 85 degrees Celsius. So in this video, we'll be looking at how to bring the temperatures of the Pi down to 55 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. Fourth point is creating our own Google Home. So in this, what we'll be doing is that we'll create our own speaker like the Google Nest, which will have the features of the Google Assistant. Like you tell it, hey Google, play songs on my bedroom TV, and it starts, the bedroom TV starts with the songs of your choice. So that will be making. The next is my personal favorite, creating a Pi hole. So what this Pi hole does, that it sits on your Raspberry Pi and connects to your home network, and it blocks all the ads coming onto your home network. So it's like just very good. So to block all the malicious websites and the ads coming on your home network. So that will be done by the Pi hole ad blocker. In the next video we'll be merging the Pi hole with the Pi VPN. As you all know, we created in the older videos we created a VPN server. So we'll merge that with the Pi VPN, with the Pi hole. So to create our own Pi VPN and a Pi hole to block all the ads even outside our home network. So that's very good, interesting. And then we'll be creating our own media server. So what basically a media server is that you have a media stored in a hard disk or a SD card stored onto your Pi 4 or connected to the Pi 4, and it allows us to stream that media throughout the world, like literally throughout the world. So for that we'll be using the Plex thing. So we'll be creating the Plex media server. The next is controlling the DSLR with the Pi 4. So in this video what we'll be doing is that we'll control our DSLR. So that's our digital camera. So imagine if you want to keep the camera somewhere where you can't just take your hand and click the shutter button. So for that we'll be using the Pi 4, where you can just enter a command on your laptop and boom, the camera clicks a photo. So that we'll be doing that in the DSLR with the Pi 4. Controlling the DSLR with the Pi 4. In the next video, we'll create a time-lapse video using the same software called G-Photo 2, which we would used above. But here we will specify an interval after which the photos are repeatedly clicked, and then we will merge them into a smooth video to have a transition-like effect for different things like day, sunset, sunrise, and the cars moving on a road, or etc. A lot of stuff. So that's that. So I have to go now. So thanks to Harshwan, he allowed me to speak here. So yes, I hope you all liked me. Yes, I will go. Bye. Okay, you can help me sometimes. Now go. Happy now? You explained so many of them. Now go. Next time don't trouble, huh? I will ask my subscribers if they are okay with your explaining. If they say okay, then from next time you can also help me. So I hope friends you liked everything. I hope you all liked the video. So please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and do like the video if you really like it. So thank you. Stay happy, stay safe.